This is People First Media.
Jimmy Lapointe has been training in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for over 9 years, and he's also competed in the sport. Jimmy won a bronze medal at the World Championships in 2007, and recently he received a gold medal at the International Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Federation's Pan-Jiu-Jitsu Championship. Jimmy Lapointe made history as the first athlete from the Nanaimo-based Island Top team to achieve that level of recognition. Jimmy's competitive pursuits have also been accompanied by his fundraising for Nanaimo's Men's Centre, and the programs he says have helped him move through traumatic issues and stress as his marriage broke up.
We're joined in the studio today by Jimmy Lapointe and by Robert Bernacki. Robert's the head instructor at Island Top Team. Welcome to People First Radio, both of you, and welcome back, Robert.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Robert, give us a sense of the scope of the Jiu-Jitsu world and how the recent International Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Federation's Pan-Jiu-Jitsu Championship fits into it.
Sure. So I'll translate it into something people may be a little bit more familiar with, which is tennis. In tennis, we have the Grand Slam, which is Wimbledon, the U.S. Open, the French Open, and the Australian Open. Those are the major events for the year. So in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, we have the Grand Slam as well, which is the European Championship, the Brasileiros, which is the Brazilian Championship, and we have the Pans and the Worlds, which take place in Southern California. Those are the 4 major tournaments. And the Pans is the largest tournament in the world. It tends to have the greatest amount of participants.
So it's a pretty big deal.
Oh, it's a huge deal, yeah. When we started Island Top Team, we had this ambition that we wanted to be a world-class club. And to facilitate that, we started traveling to these major tournaments. And Jimmy is the first person from our club to bring back a gold medal at a major tournament, which kind of cemented our ambition much earlier than I would have hoped we could.
Heavy sprawl, Jimmy, spin to the back. Spin, break that grip and spin to the back. Yeah, good.
Jimmy, the discipline required to be a Jiu-Jitsu champ, I assume, is very demanding. And from what I've been reading about this, how did you prepare for this competition? Give us a sense of that.
It was a combination of activities. One, just training jiu-jitsu at the club, 3-4 times a week, 2 classes a day. Yoga, 4 to 6 times a week at Moksha Hot Yoga here in Nanaimo, as well as Ohmtown. And then just strength training and a lot of self-reflection, a lot of emotional and mental preparation.
Robert, what does it take to become a Jiu-Jitsu champion?
Well, what Jimmy mentioned, I think I'd like to expand upon when Jimmy was talking about emotional and mental preparation, because at the local level to win, frankly, doesn't take anything more than just showing up to class regularly and just kind of being more skilled, because there's such a disparity of skill at local tournaments. Jimmy won the Seattle International Open in October, and he demolished his opponents. It wasn't even close. But going into the largest tournament in the world, you're not going to demolish too many opponents, because as you get to the world level, the parity in skill is really, really high. As long as you train at a legitimate club that affords you high-level instruction, which I like to think we are, then you're going to be on the playing field. But to win on that playing field requires a tremendous amount of mental fortitude. And I think what Jimmy really displayed in his victories is a determination to never give up, to never settle. And I know that was a huge part of his process in preparing for this, is the idea that, a bronze medal wasn't going to be good enough. When he came back from winning a match, his mantra would be 3 more wins for gold. Then the next match, his mantra was 2 more wins for gold. So he never settled. And just having that drive to succeed, no matter how tough the matches are, and all his matches were incredibly tough. With the exception of the first one, Jimmy won all his matches in the last 30 seconds. Mm-hmm. So
I read that in the articles.
It's just incredible. I mean, I almost had a heart attack.
Yeah, I think it was harder on Rob than it was for me.
Keep moving. Move your hips, Jimmy. Move your hips. Yes. Yeah, Jimmy. Yeah. Hips in. Yes. Hips in. Good.
Jimmy's brought the medal with him today. Hold that up a little bit and give us a sense of what that medal looks like for those who are listening on the radio.
It's a square medal with gold, obviously, and it has a sort of a silhouette cutout of North America, South America, and Central America, with the year and the Pan Ams written in bold gold letters on the bottom, and then the host company, IBJFF, International Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Federation.
Yeah, it's a hefty medal too.
It's hefty. I think it's probably a pound.
Yeah.
So I think I can stop jiu-jitsu and just beat people with this instead. It would be great.
And if it were real gold, you could probably retire. It's Pan-American, that's obvious. All of
Yes.
North America and South America is exhibited there on the medal, and that is a wonderful accomplishment. Now, you did something alongside your training for this, and that was you did some fundraising for the Nanaimo-based Men's Center,
Yes.
and you have reasons for doing that. Tell us more about it.
Over the last 3-4 years, I've gone through a really difficult separation, and it brought on a lot of emotional stress throughout my life. Just coming to terms, my interaction with my kid's mother and my kids and work, just life in general took a huge beating. And then I got introduced to the Men's Center just by chance. And they've just been really, really supportive through my life. I didn't see them for about a year, and just recently I've gone through some more challenges. And I've started back there a few months ago, and they're just wonderful. Like I can look back at the last few weeks and, just being there consistently, getting the advice, using the tools that they suggest for me to use is quite powerful.
There was a particular angle to your fundraising. I believe it was called the I Heart Dads fundraiser. Yeah. Why did you call it that? Or is that a program that they operate?
This is my own thing. I do like to do charity work, but I also like to do my own sort of twist and be kind of, in charge and run things. And so I chose I Love Dads or I Heart Dads, depending on the logo. And it's just a series of small events. I did like a pub night at Fibber McGee's. They've been one of my original sponsors. I did a Karma yoga class at Ohmtown Yoga. They've been a huge supporter over the last couple of years for me. And it just gives a variety of different events for people to interact, meet new people. I can approach people one-on-one, discuss about the Men's Center and the programs and the awareness and the work that they do in the community. And it also gives people an opportunity to learn about them, but also come find out more information and get introduced to them. So I've had a few people come up and ask for help and who just never knew that they were there. Good friends who I never realized who needed support.
Now, you've obviously changed over time in the experience of doing jiu-jitsu. Mm-hmm. How has your involvement in the Men's Center helped you change over time? What changes have you seen in yourself?
Personally, I think it's just being able to regulate my feelings and understand what I go through. I have, some, mental and emotional issues that I go through in my life, and they've really helped me to understand what I feel, why I feel, and how to move through and understand and control those. And, also understanding anger, because it's very stressful for men who are going through these really emotional challenges in our society. We're not really taught nowadays, how to be sensitive or how to understand, always trying to be, man up, be tough, don't cry. And they really open up on those issues. So it really helps me to sort of just find better balance and be much more mindful awareness, how I live my life and how I interact in my community.
Mm. Robert, is self-development through jiu-jitsu something you've commonly seen amongst your students?
Absolutely. I think anyone who's dealt with me or spoken to me knows how passionate I am about. I'm basically an evangelist for jiu-jitsu and for the transformative power of jiu-jitsu in people's lives. The issues that Jimmy was discussing, and if I can take a second to just say how personally, Jimmy's a friend of mine besides being a student, and just how incredibly proud I am of him. It takes a lot of bravery to step on a mat and go up against an opponent who's trying to strangle you. I think, frankly, in a lot of ways, it can take more bravery to be as open as Jimmy is about these issues, because they are issues that a lot of people aren't comfortable talking about. And I think to share his experience with others is, incredibly brave. And the same way that jiu-jitsu can be transformative in people's lives, I think honesty and vulnerability can be transformative in people's lives. And one of the things that jiu-jitsu does offer is, if you're coming to a place where people are going to try to strangle you, you're being vulnerable, and you're being put in a situation on a regular basis where you have to overcome feelings of vulnerability, feelings of fear, feelings of frustration, feelings of stress, and being able to manage those feelings and recover and react and grow as a person is incredibly powerful. I think a saying that I really believe in is that courage is not the absence of fear; it's the willingness to act in spite of it, and that's something that people can really develop through jiu-jitsu. So you can see Jimmy as a prime example of that, not just on the mats and on how he competes, but in his personal life, he's been able to translate those lessons.
Yeah, slow down. Yeah, Jimmy, step him down. Yes, that's it. Jimmy, omoplata, cross grip, omoplata.
Jimmy, is the I Heart Dads fundraiser an ongoing event, so to speak, or can people still contribute to the fundraising?
Yeah, people can come and approach me if they want to give any support financially or personally or socially to it. It's great with every year that I do it. More people are approaching, I want to help with media advertising for next year, or I want to help with organize a silent auction. You can also go to the Men's Center online, and they have a subsection on their website that you can go and you can donate to for I Love Dads. And it goes directly to the Men's Center.
Okay. Jimmy Lapointe, Robert Bernacki, thanks very much for taking the time to come in and join us. It was much appreciated. And once again, congratulations.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
Excellent work.
Robert Bernacki is the senior Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and MMA instructor at Island Top Team. Jimmy Lapointe trains at Island Top Team, and he's the recent recipient of a gold medal at the International Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Federation's Pan Jiu-Jitsu Championship. You can find out more about the Island Top Team at islandtopteam.com. You can find more about Nanaimo's Men's Centre online at themenscentre.ca.
People First Media is an initiative of Vancouver Island Mental Health Society in partnership with Radio Malaspina Society and Mid-Island Television Society of Nanaimo, British Columbia.